won't none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, we get to talk about the North Carolina Tar Heels' 20th victory of the season. And boy, was it sweet. It was much needed. The North Carolina Tar Heels take out the Virginia Tech Hokies 96-81. And first and foremost, I just want to say, praise the Lord for a victory, right? You know, we were kind of talking about where this team was going to go, what their mental state was, et cetera, and they just completely blew me out of the water, and it just makes it that much more difficult for me to personally put my hand on what is going on with this team, because offensively, they were in sync. They looked really good in this game, and I think that the thing that we got to really talk about is number 5, okay? Point blank, period. Armando Bacot had himself a game. 25-12, and this is the key factor in this one. He was 11 for 16 from the field. 11 for 16. Okay? That's like better than 67%, right? The guy had himself a ball game, and it all comes down to him being aggressive. And you know what? There have been a lot of Tar Heels that have really been on Armando's case. And I'm not just talking about like the lack of effort and, you know, all those things. Armando Bacot could consistently give you 18, 19, 20, and 10. Consistently. He really could. Right now this year, people say, well, he's been in college for 6 years. Exactly. He's 6'11", 240 pounds, and when he establishes position on the block, he's hard to guard. Is he an above-the-rim player? No, but he does such a good job when he's aggressive to the basket of carving out space and getting that ball up quickly. He's hard to guard, man, and you saw it in this game. 25-12 from Armando Bacot, and I believe, obviously, you know, this is not rocket science or some Albert Einstein stuff, but the guy led the way. And yes, he was the leading scorer, but that's what I'm trying to say is the inside-out game. When he establishes himself down there on the blocks, okay, if they're not going to consistently double-team him, it changes this team's ceiling. I'm telling you, man, and this is what we need from him. 30 minutes, 25-12. He had 8 defensive rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds, and I can't stress enough, 11 for 16. 11 for 16, a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. So very, very pleased with Armando. My man came out, he balled. I think he knew that he had a whole week to rest, and he left it out on the line. He heard the criticisms, and he answered the stinking bell, and I'm really happy for Armando Bacot. I'm happy for the entire North Carolina basketball team because he came out and he stinking balled. Another guy, Harrison Ingram, had himself a ridiculous first half. I think he went into halftime with 11 points and 12 boards. Just a hoover off the glass, man. It was like the ball would just come to him, or he's just making his way to the stinking basketball. Once again, Harrison didn't have the greatest shooting night. He went 4 for 11 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, but 12 points, 17 boards. He was all over the stinking place, man. Another double-double for Harrison Ingram. Obviously, R.J. Davis, 6 for 13 from the field, 3 for 8, 5 for 6 from the free throw line, and he has himself 20 points for the game. That's what RJ does. Oh, and I forgot, he had 5 assists to only 2 turnovers. So that's a 2.5 assist to 1 turnover ratio. Money. Love it. RJ had himself a really good game. Cormac Ryan. Listen, my man he was 4 for 7 from 3 in this game. That's shooting over 50%. He was only 4 for 11 from the field. The only field goals that he made were from beyond the arc, but he is 10 for 21 over his last 2 games. Dude, that's great. So it looks like Cormac from beyond the arc has kind of found his stride. I really hope that he can continue that over this week-long break. And because that is pivotal if Carolina is going to be great. If Armando establishes himself down low, and you have shooters like R.J. Davis and a guy that can consistently shoot 40-45%, if Cormac stays on that tear, Carolina's going to be dangerous. Because you even saw a couple of open three-pointers for Cormac that he still didn't hit. So he's going to continue to get his opportunities, especially if Armando asserts himself. I'm telling you, it changes the dynamic of this team. Another factor that I really want to stink and give some kudos to, Jaylen Washington. Jaylen Washington had 10 minutes in this ball game. He went 3 for 4. He went 1 for 2 from the line, 2 boards, 7 points, and he had a block. Jaylen Washington continues when he gets on the floor, man. When Jaylen gets on the floor, he does good things, period. Like, more often than not, Jaylen Washington does good things, especially on the offensive side of the floor. So kudos to Jaylen for maximizing his limited amount of time on the court and his 7 points. Jalen Withers had 4. Seth Trimble had 4, but Seth obviously was providing some really good defense today himself. Did you guys see that Jalen Withers miss where I think he brought it from like his lower back? And I think he tried to tear down the goal. If he would have sealed that dunk, oh my goodness, man, Tar Heel Nation they might have stormed the floor right there. I mean, he brought that thing from the moon. That was a crazy play. Unfortunately, though, he didn't finish it. Now, with all those kudos, okay, Carolina shoots for the game. They shoot 51.5% from the field. Great. Only 33.3% from 3. Now, Carolina out-rebounded the Virginia Tech Hokies by 12, 43-31. Fantastic, okay? Plus 12 on the rebound margin. We will take that all stinking day. That's why Carolina's the number 1 rebounding team in the conference. Virginia Tech only shoots 41.8% from the field, and what really helped was Carolina's closeouts, 26.9% from 3. Now, one of the things that's still worrying me is our guards' inability, seemingly, in my personal opinion, to keep guards from penetrating. Especially you saw at the latter stages of that game where it seems like both teams were trading baskets. You know, I don't think the game was ever in any doubt. I think Virginia Tech cut it to 6 or 7 at one point. The game was never really in doubt of what was going to happen. But they did kind of trade for a little bit. And it was kind of frustrating to me to watch Virginia Tech continue to drive to the basket and get easy buckets, layups. And we cannot allow teams to just do a layup drill against us. I was still not necessarily pleased, per se, with the offensive performance. Despite a 15-point victory, despite how efficient we were on offense, anytime a team scores 81, there's room for improvement, okay? There's just room for improvement. But I'm not going to, I was going to say the un-PC word. I'm not going to complain, we'll put it that way, about a 15-point victory, especially with what Carolina has been going through the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm excited. I'm happy. And I think they did exactly what they wanted to do going into this break because they need to rest their legs, they need to rest their minds, and they need to get ready for the long haul. We got at Virginia, then a 3-game stretch, Miami, NC State, and Notre Dame. And then you got a big one at Duke. So this next 5-game stretch to end conference play, dude, it's going to be huge, especially considering Virginia edged out Wake Forest, right? Duke won again. So up there at the top, man, it's kind of getting small, but there's not a lot of room for error. So there's a lot of exciting basketball yet to be played. And we all know that Carolina recently up in Virginia has not necessarily fared well. So this is a huge game because this is the only time that Carolina will play Virginia unless it's in the ACC tournament. So we have huge ACC tourney seeding implications in that game. But The most important thing is that we took care of this one and we went into that game next week with a W under our belt, feeling better about ourselves, and we can rest up and recuperate, man. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Hey, Carolina, Tar Heel Nation, 20th win of the season, bro. North Carolina sits at 20-6, 12-3 in the conference. It's a great way to spend this next week of no basketball. Do I love no basketball? Of course not. I'm going to miss it so stinking much. But we need this break, and it's good. It's good for the Heels. It's good for Coach Davis. It's good for Tar Heel Nation, and it's good for Russ, the Tar Heels. So excited about the 15-point victory, man. Let me know what you guys think about this ball game down in the comment section. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Let me know what you're looking forward to and the positives or the negatives that you see going forward for this North Carolina team. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you consider becoming a Huddle Hooligan, man, as it helps us keep the lights on, as they say. I love you, Tar Heel Nation. Excited about the W, baby, and we'll catch you on the next one.